Good morning, everyone. You are watching The Volt TV, and my name is Paige Mitchell, and today we have public figure, mentor, role model, activist, and upcoming author, Leon Ford. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you for being here. So basically, can you just give a brief rundown on who you are, a little introduction about yourself for those who aren't familiar with you and your story?
Yeah. So my name is Leon Ford. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Some people call me a victim of police brutality. I'm a survivor. That's pretty much it.
There's way more to it than that, Leon. Way more.
I need like a punchline or something. I don't have one yet.
Okay. So basically, like, touch on a little bit about as far as like what brought you up into this moment, which was the incident with the police officers. So do you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah. What about it?
As far as like, I know you got to be picky and choosy about what you say.
Right.
So basically, an incident took place with the police officers, right, which you became a survivor from, which basically branched off into the story of where you are now and all of the things that you've excelled to be since then. So just talk about how long ago was that now?
So it'll be 4 years.
Oh, wow.
November 11th. So we're hitting that mark. So November 11th, I was shot unjustly 5 times, point blank range by a police officer. It was a case of like mistaken identity, and I survived. Right, survived. I was, woke up in the hospital, found out that I was paralyzed, and I found out that I was actually being charged with crimes that I did not commit, which kind of like forced me into the world of activism. Because I was fighting for my freedom, and the only thing on my mind, like, I didn't wake up like, yeah, I'm gonna be an activist, right?
Yeah,
the only thing on my mind was like, I don't want to go to jail, and I'm not a criminal, so I have to do what I have to do to really show the world that I'm innocent, right? And through doing that, I used very innovative ways to tell my story through social media, through music, through many different forms of writing, just sharing my story and making it relatable to almost anybody, and that's pretty much how I started doing activism, traveling around the country, sharing my story, and people seeing it as an inspiration, right? Like seeing somebody who was a victim of an injustice, positively evoking change. So that's kind of like how that started.
Yeah.
And now I'm just, I've just been extremely blessed to travel the world, to meet all types of amazing people, to have some really dope mentors. That's just like walking me through this process.
So how old were you at the time when the accident took place?
I was 19 years old.
Young.
Yeah.
Young. 19. That's an abrupt change at such a young age in your life.
Yeah. So at the age of 19, I was kind of like trying to find my way through, society, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I was boxing. I was, working at an auto body shop. I was filming music videos and making music, right? I was just, I was having fun. I was the average 19-year-old. I never thought I would have gotten shot by anybody because, my personality, I was just the type of teenager who was friends with everybody. I was very outgoing. I had friends in every neighborhood in Pittsburgh. That was me. And my personality, before really helped me for when I started to organize because I had friends all over the city. So when I put the word out there, like, yo, I need support. Like, I'm facing time in prison, and y'all know I'm innocent, and I need y'all to come out and support. A lot of people answered the call, and it just kind of like went viral on social media.
It did. It did. People came out in droves to come support you and been supporting you full out for all these years now. I can't believe it's been 4 years.
It'll be 4 years.
That was a while ago. So to touch on basically when you said you've been blessed enough to travel the world and meet all of these people, I know you went to a recent event. It was a little while back now. It was called MLK now.
Oh yeah. MLK.
And you had the opportunity to work with big names such as Chris Rock, J. Cole, India Ari, Michael B. Jordan. So how was that?
It was like super dope. So my boy from Cali, he's from LA. His name is Fahim, and he had reached out to me like, "Yo, bro, you trying to speak at this event?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." Like, he's my man, right? We're like super cool. Like, he's like my brother, and I'm like, "Cool, yeah." But I didn't know it was just gonna be like this huge event, right? So when I had got to New York, you know, I had called him like, "Yo, what's up, bro? I'm outside. Like, come get me." He was like, "All right, I'm gonna send security down." I'm like, "All right." So they like pushed me in the elevator, and they were like walking around me like I was a celebrity. I was like, "Yo, this is crazy," right?
Yeah.
So we got out the elevator, and there were just like all these celebrities in this room. And I was like in my head, like doing backflips, like, "Yeah, this is crazy." And a lot of them like knew my story.
Really,
right?
They were familiar.
Yeah, they were familiar with my story, and it was dope. Like just to have, a conversation with Michael B. Jordan, like who played in Fruitvale Station, right? And to tell him, my story personally, right? And to get him and his father's reaction, and to talk about, my father, and it was a very emotional moment for both of us. So that was like one of the highlights of that event for me. But just to be there amongst so many people who are working towards changing, what's going on was an inspiration. And a lot of like these people were young.
Yeah.
Or young, which showed me like, there's other people, there's a lot of young people out here who want to get involved, who are involved, taking steps toward a positive change.
Right, absolutely. I think that's great. You're meeting all types of people, being exposed to all different types of people, and you just got back in town, right?
Yes.
So where are you coming from?
Minnesota.
And what were you doing out there?
So there was a conference there called Working to Walk about an organization called Unite to Fight Paralysis. So this organization basically is fighting for a cure, raising money to help researchers do the work that they are doing and continue to do the work that they are doing to find a cure for paralysis. 1 in 30 people suffer from spinal cord injuries. So it's a big deal. So at this conference, man, there was like scientists from all over just talking about the advancements in technology to help people walk again, and it was very inspirational.
I'm glad you touched on that too, because I couldn't wait to ask you, how is your progress coming with walking?
Oh, it
seems like it's going so well.
Yeah, it's hard work. It's hard work. I mean, like on Instagram and like social media, it's like a snapshot, like a minute maybe of people seeing me up on my feet walking, and usually that's like the best part. Like I'm capturing the best part, but it's a lot of hard work, and even like with the story on Instagram, you see a lot of the good stuff, like you know what I'm saying. But behind the scenes, it's a lot of hard work.
I could believe it. I could believe it. But you're gonna walk again.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good.
I believe it.
How often do you practice?
I try to do it at least like 3 times a week.
Okay. And where do you go around here to help you with that?
So I do it at the crib. I do it at my house.
Do you?
Yeah. I do it at my house. I was going to a rehab facility on the south side of Pittsburgh, but they basically was like, "Hey, like you know how to do everything here now, so."
Now you're on your own.
Yeah, so I'm in the process of looking at some other rehab facilities that got technology and different things that I need, like electro stem and stuff for my legs. So.
Okay, all right, that's good. So Leon, you're doing so much. There's so many things we could touch on. Is there any particular situation or moment or any aha moment that you had throughout this whole 4-year journey that particularly stands out?
An aha moment, yeah. Depression.
Really?
Yeah, I like, again, I like people see the snapshots and they see the smile on like all over the internet. And they're like, yeah, you're so inspirational, and you know, they're inspired. But I'm human, right? And I just like to share stories of my low moments, right? When I wanted to give up, you know, although I never did, right? I'm resilient, but them low moments definitely do exist, right? And I just want to, you know, encourage people to keep going. Like, don't give up. And I know it sounds like cliche, but really, like, trust God through whatever you're going through. Like, trust God. Be patient. You know, be patient, and be optimistic through whatever that you're going through. And you know, a lot of times when people talk about overcoming adversity, they think it's like you get over this hump and the rest of your life is gonna be like all smiles
Smooth
and giggles.
sailing.
Yeah. However, it's an illusion. You know, for me, I have to get over this hump every day, right? Because I wasn't born in a wheelchair, so every day I wake up, it's a struggle, and it's a constant struggle to be optimistic and positive, right? So I want to encourage people out there to really, you know, be patient, be optimistic, and keep pushing. You know, every day is not going to be a super great day physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. You know, however, you know, when you keep pushing and you're patient and you trust God, then everything else will fall into place.
Amen.
You know, I'm just concerned with a lot of the gun violence, you know, a lot of, you know, these senseless like killings, and you know, particularly like a lot of the mental health issues that people are suffering from all over the world, and a lot of people are hopeless, you know, and I just want to like use my story to inspire those people who really need it, you know. So when people see me like, and they see me like working the walk, you know, it's like symbolic of, you know, overcoming. It's like, you know, they tell me one thing, like, yo, you'll never walk again, but it doesn't stop me from trying, right? And like in life, there's gonna be people who's gonna tell you metaphorically that like you can't walk, right? Like you're not gonna be this, you're not gonna be that. You know, people are gonna, you know, make some people insecure, like say bad things about people. However, when you trust God and you're patient, you're optimistic, and like you're led by the Spirit of God, and you live like, you know, from a place of love, compassion, and understanding, your life could just change, no matter what position that you're in. Like, you know what I mean? Some people are, you know, homeless. You can still be happy and homeless. You know, some people are, you know, experiencing low moments financially. You can still be happy and living in, you know, living in poverty. Just like, you know, I'm in a wheelchair, but I'm still happy. You know, it doesn't take away from the fact that I experience pain, but I'm still able to navigate through my life, you know, with peace, love, compassion, understanding, and just be positive. Yeah.
That was a beautiful answer. That was good. That was. So, basically, I know one of your mottos is to inform, motivate, and inspire. So is that one of the things as well that keeps you motivated and keeps you going each day?
For sure. It's like positive energy is contagious. Right? And it's like, you know, as I, you know, inspire others, they inspire me. you know, and I just use my story. So, like, I say inform because, you know, I talk about my life experiences, right? And I say motivate because, you know, I want people to see my story and say, yo, if Leon could do it, I could do it. And I say inspire because I want to, you know, motivate people to the point that they can tap into their purpose and they don't need no external force to motivate them. I believe, you know, to be inspired is to be passionate about something and to be self-motivated. So I don't just want somebody to hear me speak or, you know, hear me, you know, talk about my story and say, yo, this is dope. Like, I'm going to do something today. And then tomorrow or a week later, you know, that motivation ain't there because it's external. I want to spark something within people, you know, that wakes something up inside of them so they can be inspired to do something and they can be passionate and they have that internal motivation that keeps them going.
Right. Okay, that's good. Well, you inspire me.
Appreciate it.
You do. You really do, Leon. Like, seeing you, knowing the before, then the after, and then the now, and then just seeing what's happening. And I see so many big things for you in your future. I think you're doing good. And I definitely think that you're working in your purpose, walking in your purpose, because you're impacting so many people along your journey. And I feel like one of the things that, you know, you're in your purpose, walking in your purpose in life when you're affecting the lives of so many different people that you don't even realize it. And people are gravitating towards you, and people are coming up to you, DMing you. I see you got somebody got you tattooed on them. Yeah, I seen that. I was like, wow, how did that make you feel? That's big.
Like, yeah, that moment was extremely humbling. And it let me know that what I'm doing is bigger than me. You know, you never know the impact that you can have on somebody just by, you know, being positive and walking in your purpose. You know, so yeah, that moment was like huge, and it inspired me on a whole nother level to basically level up, right, and just, you know, just go much harder to, you know, as I walk in my purpose to change the lives around me.
That's good. That's good. So, you know, we got to touch on this up and coming presidential election that's coming up next week, and how America, the United States of America, is just in this very interesting, we're in this very interesting moment right now. And this is about to be one of the biggest historical moments within presidential elections, period, to me. So how do you feel about this election that's coming up? What do you feel? Do you feel like America is in a state of emergency? Like, what's your take on it? If you care to share, give your little spill on it. Who you voting for? So, yeah.
So I'm at the point in my life where I'm like on like a spiritual journey. And my thing is, whatever the outcome of this election is going to be, it's not going to affect me spiritually, because a lot of what they say they can do is worldly. And I feel like we're already, you know, in the midst of a spiritual war. And my spirit, my spirit doesn't connect with any of the candidates. No, I think that's, you know, that's the problem with a lot of things in society, that people aren't led by their spirit. And, you know, when you're not led by your spirit, a lot of times you're led by your ego or by worldly things that is of this world. You know, and I pull my energy from a source that's not of this world. So honestly, you know,
just going with the flow.
Yeah. I'm just being led by my spirit. If I'm called in a way to do something, I do it. And I haven't been caught in that way. I haven't really kept up to it. I probably should. However, like, my spirit is just so disconnected from that and focused on really being on the ground, like paying it forward, you know, paying it forward and spreading love, compassion and understanding. And I say them three things, you know, because this idea of, like, I have this whole idea of paying it forward, right? Have you ever seen Pay It Forward, the movie?
Yes, I've seen it. I'm familiar.
So in this movie, Trevor, he's like the main character. He's a little young kid. He's probably like 12 years old. He has this idea of paying it forward and giving something big to people. So he draws this chart where it's him, and he gives something big to 3 people. Then they give something big to 3 people each, and it just grows like super fast. And he's 12 years old, so he stresses the fact that it has to be something big. But through like studying this film, my analysis that something big is given out of love, compassion, and understanding, right? Because when you give out of love, like you have to love like mankind, you have to love human beings, you have to love, you know, everything in this universe. Then you have to have compassion for it to say, yo, I feel for this, you know, for this person, for this issue, for this thing, and, you know, I understand them, right? No matter if they're like, you know, a bum on the street, a CEO, somebody who harms you, somebody who wrongs you. When you have that love, compassion, and understanding, yo, it just brings so much peace and positivity into this world. So my main focus is to pay it forward, right? To love on people, to have compassion towards people, and to understand their plight, their struggle, what they've been through, what they're going through, because whether you believe it or not, we're all going through something, because we're in the midst of a spiritual war, you know. So I try to reach people on levels that, you know, they may not be receiving help or any type of love, you know, compassion or understanding. And that's like my main focus. You know, the media, mainstream media pushes this idea that the world is like, America is just so separated. There's so much hatred, racial division, you know. However, when I'm on the street and I'm speaking to people, when I was coming up here in this elevator, I'm speaking to people, I'm smiling, regardless of race, age, gender. Like, I'm just like really paying it forward. If it's just a smile, if it's just like, yo, have a super blessed day. Like, you're blessed. I see you. You know, rather just saying that, you never know how that could change somebody's life. And I think that's, you know, for me, that's more important than, you know, any election, you know, because when you reach people, you know, in their heart, and you could, you know, change their spirit, you know. I would like to have a conversation with, you know, policymakers and politicians, and even the, you know, the presidential candidates, to get them to understand these core values, because I think that's what's missing. And it's like, it's so easy to get caught up in like worldly things, you know what I mean, because we're human beings. But I'm very intentional about not getting caught up in it.
Oh yeah.
You know, even being like a public figure, I didn't make myself a public figure. Other people tell me that. I'm just me, you know. I'm just experiencing life, living in the now, enjoying every moment, you know, and that's what's important to me. And I'm very intentional about not letting other people's perspectives of me make me like big-headed or make me feel like I have to do things that I don't necessarily have to do.
Right, staying humble.
Yeah, and really embracing my journey and using my journey to educate other people.
Somebody told me a quote the other day that I really liked. It stuck with me. It's really simple, but it's just, he said, the key to life is staying humble and hungry. And that really resonated with me because I think that's important. And I feel like being humble and keeping that humility going is another thing that makes people gravitate towards you as well. And that's another reason why I feel like people gravitate towards your story, because people see that it's real. Like, it's not this persona that you put on. You're not putting on this show. You don't look at yourself like you're a celebrity. You just feel like you're a human being. This is what happened to me. This is what I'm still going through. It's still happening. It's still going on. And this is how I'm getting through it. So that's good.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's good. So what's next for Leon Ford? Like, where do you see yourself in, let's say, like, when you're 30? Like, where do you see yourself then?
When I'm 30 years old, I just see myself paying it forward.
Just continuing to just play that thing through?
Yeah. Changing lives, you know. I'm definitely going to be in a position to change lives on a larger scale. But that's just, that's the purpose. I feel like that's what I'm here for, to change lives, you know, helping individuals to see their greatness, which, you know, as a collective, we can experience greatness and success together. You know, it's not really about me. You know, I'm like, I know how to live. I know how to provide for myself. You know, I just want other people. You know, I like to see other people, you know, experience what I experience. You know, living in the now, like experiencing every single moment, you know, in its entirety, is very important. Not worrying, not stressing,
Right.
Just living, just experiencing life and being that one with the universe, right? Just and doing things, you know, that is fulfilling to not only myself but to a higher being. It's important.
Okay, that's good. So another thing, as far as just where you are, like, how do you feel waking up every day? Like, give me a rundown. What is a day in the life of Leon? You wake up and do what?
Oh, it depends if I'm rushing.
Like, what's 24 hours in a day of your life? You wake up, you got meeting after meeting after meeting. Yes. How is it?
So I'll just give you a rundown of my day yesterday.
Okay.
So yesterday I had to wake up, take my son to school. He goes to Obama. Went to class at Duquesne University. My class was from 12:15 to 1:30. I had a meeting at 1:30 at Duquesne University in the Starbucks. So I was like 5 minutes late to my meeting. I try to be on time, but then I had another meeting at 3 at the same Starbucks. So like when that meeting was over, I just texted the other person like, "Hey, like, you know, I'm done," because he knew I had this other meeting before him. He's wants to do a documentary on me, on my story. So,
okay.
Or a feature film. We just trying to work through it. So I had a meeting with him from 3 to 5, and then from 5 to 7, I facilitate a discussion group at Duquesne University, which went over to like 7:30. And at 7:30, I had to drop 2 of my mentees off, and I had a conference call on Skype at 8:30. So I got home at 8:35. Luckily, they were all late, so we got on the call at 8:40, and I had the Skype call. Then my mom dropped my son off because she took him to the circus, and then I did a little reading, and I had to write some content for my website. And then I just like went to sleep. It was like 2:30.
Okay, that's a long day. That's long. Okay, so we got to piggyback on you being a student now. Congratulations at Duquesne University. So how's that going so far?
Oh, I love it.
And how did that evolve? How did you get back in school?
So like I had bad experience in school. I was always a smart student, but I never felt accepted, wanted. I just felt like a statistic in school, like I never, like Black History Month, they would let us, do projects on like Jay-Z or everybody would do like Beyonce or like Will Smith or Michael Jordan, right? But then they would tell us like, oh, you'll never make it to the NBA or the NFL or be a rapper because like everybody wants to do it and it's like extremely hard. So then it's like, what can I be? Because I didn't know any like Black lawyers or Black scientists or So I just didn't identify with education. It was just like something that I just had to wake up and do. But then through my activism, I started the discussion group, and the discussion group was at Duquesne University, and some professors start coming in and they're like, yo, like, I want to go to school, like. And I taught classes at Duquesne University too. Just coming in as a guest and teaching.
Guest speaker, stuff like that.
Yeah, and it just happened. They were like, yo, how can we get you here? And it just happened. And
that is a blessing right there.
Yeah,
that is big. That's good.
Yeah, I'm excited. Especially, there's a lot of work to do at Duquesne University, and they embrace me and the young people that I bring on campus. They extend a lot of love and make all of us like feel welcome. We have some very courageous conversations about police brutality, about socioeconomic disparities, about white privilege, and a lot of people are receptive to it.
That's good.
Yeah, I love it.
That's good. That's good. You got so much to talk about. You really do. Now we got to jump into this upcoming author venture that you're on now. So how's that coming?
Oh, well, I'm finally done.
It's done? So when is the book about to launch?
So I think I want to drop it on my birthday in March.
Okay.
Yeah, have like a whole weekend of events. So I'm in the process of planning it out.
And what's the book gonna be about?
My journey.
Okay. Okay.
It's like this. With a lot of I really went on like a super like spiritual journey, I guess. So I'm walking people through this journey. Excuse me. And how I dealt with depression and how I dealt with like all these low moments, and it's going to help a lot of people. Yeah.
So it's like telling your story, like a biography, if you will, but also like a self-help book as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Going in those different directions a little bit.
It's definitely a biography / self-help book.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that'll be good. I'm excited. What's the name of it?
Untold.
Okay.
Untold.
All right, I like that.
The evolution of Leon Ford.
Okay. All right, Leon. So is there anything else you would like to add?
Yeah.
Any fun facts you want to throw out there?
One thing I just gotta say this. Here in Pennsylvania, we're about to start a campaign to get this bill passed. This bill is going to basically, it's going to be for spinal cord injury research. So we're asking the government to provide like $5 million annually to support spinal cord injury research so we could find a cure for spinal cord injuries. 1 to 30 people suffer from spinal cord injuries, and it's an issue that in society we don't talk about. It's my hope to introduce this campaign or this movement to pop culture. It's like when it's October, you see pink everywhere. Like it's Cancer Awareness Month. And I want the same thing for spinal cord injuries because a lot of people are affected by it, and we need a cure.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. I support. You got my support in everything you do. You know that. Okay, and tell the people where they can reach you at. Follow him on Instagram. What's your Instagram name?
So follow me on social media, Twitter and Instagram. I'm Leon Ford Speaks, and on Facebook, I'm Leon Ford. If you want to email me, you got some information you want to share, you want to send me a note, my email is leon@leonfordspeaks.com. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Leon. Thanks for coming today.
Appreciate you.
All right, thank you. And this is The Vote TV.